Chapter 9, Community-Based Tourism, Participation and Empowerment. Community-based tourism involves giving visitors to a country the chance to meet local people and experience authentic cultural exchange. Take many forms where you stay with local families or visiting villages and communities. Example, by visiting local artisans who create traditional handicrafts. It's about supporting locally led projects that have direct benefit for the local community as well as the travelers. Community participation in tourism. Local people best placed to decide what kind and level of tourism is best. Putting what matters to local people at the heart of tourism ensures protection for what is valued. So people are able to manage tourism effectively and upskill, leading to more diversified and sustainable economy. Technique for effective participation. Participatory appraisal reveals community interest and interrelationship between livelihoods and socioeconomic and ecological factors. Participatory mapping, where community members collectively create maps by identifying and providing information about the community. Transect walks, where members of the community planners and other municipality representatives walk through different areas of the neighborhood. Interviews and focus groups. Why is it important the the community participation? Because it provides residents range of opportunities and income for all people. It gives everybody the opportunity to secure themselves, their economy for the future and create opportunities for themselves. So, aspects of community involvement, employment and livelihood. Livelihood usually involves employment. So, if nakay panginabuyan, nakay trabaho. Employment utilizes human capabilities and promotes general participation in society and the economy. It is a powerful medium of enhancing human dignity. Capacity building, acknowledged as an important tourism development strategy, is necessary ingredient for success of community development. Help underdeveloped communities to improve their ability to participate in tourism decision-making process. In capacity building, you and your community partner are expected to be different at the end of collaborative community work. Ideally, your community partner will be more effective and successful in addressing community issues, and you will learn about working with community partners more effectively and respectfully. Decision making in planning and management. So, every community has strengths and has problems and concerns. So, know how to examine situation and arriving at goals. Each community have the ability to solve the problems and achieve the goals themselves. So, next, implement the plan and develop an action plan. Obviously, you need to apply what is planned and do an action on it. Where the challenge exists, you know also how to handle it. Benefit share. Oh, anyways, sorry for the misspelling of benefit. So it is fundamental to generating community support and delivering positive and effective outcomes as a pathway to social acceptance in communities and setting it as a priority within the development process.
And now we will proceed to the attributes of successful participation. Attributes of successful participation. Successful process depends less on formal method of involvement than on underlying qualities of openness, trust, respectful interaction, shared control, and agency commitment. So from the word attribute itself, it refers to the character or personality that tourism must acquire for them to have the so-called successful participation involvement. Community level. Indicators are measures that refers to population groups rather than individual level. They indicate what's happening at community level rather than individual level. Indicators for different issues. Example, substance abuse or drugs, teenage pregnancy prevention, tobacco control, injury prevention, and violence prevention. Individual level involves our own personal attitude, values, and beliefs, and particularly towards stereotypes and prejudice. The individual level shapes our perception of exercise, sport, and physical activity, socialization. Example, an individual characteristics can also suit certain sports. For example, if someone was extremely tall, they would be suited to basketball.
Advantages of community participation to the tourism industry. Community participation in tourism development and World Heritage Site conservation management is essential for the sustainable development of WHS destinations. These are the advantages of community participation. Economic benefits to the local community. It includes faster economic growth in the regions, improved welfare and equity, empowerment of local people, improved resource conservation, highest quality experiences to the visitors. So, if nindot mo trato ang usa ka community na sa mga visitors na moara, balik-balikon dyan na sa mga tao kay makaingon man sila nga nindot inyong services na gihatag. A greater environmental awareness. As a community member, if nakay makita ng mga hugaw sa inyong community, dapat kay ba pud ka mamunit, manilhig, kay what if na mga visitors na moara. So, makakita sila nga hugaw man inyong lugar. So, makaingon sila, ma-discourage na noon sila nga, bati man kay hugaw kaayo, walay limpyo. So, ibiya ganahan ng mga visitors o pati nga paligid nila. So, relationship between community members. Unity is important within a community. So, dapat magkasinabot jud ang mga community members para nindot og hapsay ang ilahang community. Samot na if na ay tourist attraction ana nga lugar, community participation o unity nila importante jud kaayo. It can contribute to improve our quality of life and at the same time the sustainable conservation of the heritage site itself. So kani if ang mga tao anak nga lugaran na sila tourist attraction, if kaybaw sila mo conserve o kaybaw sila mo amping anak nga ilahang tourist attraction, balik-balikon dyan na sa mga tao. If nindot ilahang makita na nindot ang mga services na ihatag, nindot kayo ilahang process jud makatabang sa misya sa mga community members. So according to Rogoff 2011, participation in communities should be a social interaction that benefits the whole community rather than a few individuals. Involvement of local community to the tourist trade. Nasad ang mga community members involved sa sila ani kaning accommodation, information, transportation, other facilities and services. There are three categories of community participation according to Einstein. First is manipulative participation. Kani dili ma-heard ang mga voices sa mga residents, like ang naari power is like ang mga government, so ang mga thoughts and opinions sa mga residents is wala, dili ma-heard, kaya ang nag-control is ang mga nay power. Citizen tokenism. Kani ma-heard na ilang mga voices but they lack the power with which to control the decision making processes. Their opinions might be heard but they can't control. So like dili sila ang nagkontrol sa pagkuan anak nga community. Citizen power. So this is the highest level of community participation. So it is where the power of residents to make decisions and control the process of development. It can also generate trust, ownership, and social capital among the residents. Tourism issues at the community level. Some of these issues are addressed below, along with a look at several forms of tourism that are perceived or conducive to community development, social well-being, and local empowerment. First is perception and attitudes of community toward CBT. So, perception are the product of individuals acquire knowledge through hearing, seeing, or through the other senses. Perceptions also involve understanding or insight. So, attitudes. Attitudes are learned tendencies to act in a consistent way towards something or someone. If ang usa ka community is lahi-lahi og batasan nga dili magkasinabot, gubot jud kaayo ang usa ka community. Issue pud jud na siya karon nga generation. So community participation, kani dako jud kay ni taktak if kani nga issue is dako kaayo na nga community. Community participation is important jud sa usa ka community. So if lack mo ana, issue jud kaayo siya. If example, na may tourist attraction ana nga lugar nya wala mo'y participation sa usa-usa, so dili jud siya manon kay wala mo'y pakialam, walay labot ang uban, di kay ba mo participa, so dili jud manon ang inyong gusto nga ipanon sa mga laing tao. Issues of accessibility to information. Accessibility is important. If samot na naamoy tourism attraction na nga lugar, so dili nila mahibaw-an if asa na dapit or unsa na siya, unsay nindot na nga lugar, kung wala mo ana, issue jud kaayo na siya. Samot na if ganahan mo nga kana nga attraction is ganahan mo makita sa laing tao or makabaw sila, so if lack mo og resources, and then so dili jud siya manon and it will be big problem. That's all, thank you.
So hi everyone, I will discuss to you about community participatory models for sustainable tourism. So before I proceed, community participatory models for sustainable tourism have 5 subtopics, which is community tourism, joint venture with the private sector or NGOs, private business employees member of the community, NGOs or other grassroots organization, and lastly, collaborative management or co-management. So what is community participatory models for sustainable tourism? Community participations in tourism development and World Heritage Site or WHS. Conservation management is essential for sustainable development or WHS destinations. Local communities play a significant role in reviving and sustaining WHS. These studies attempt to review the current community participation literature with respect to rural WHS destinations, synthesizing the current literature by way of systematic review. The findings reveal a preference among rural WHS residents for economic involvement and destination promotion rather than participations in the decision-making process. The findings of their studies expand upon the community participations literature, clarifying the concept in the context of rural WHS destination. In addition, the results have practical application for local authorities responsible for the sustainable conservation management and tourism development of rural WHS, that their seemingly competing objectives are best achieving by involving local residents in economic activities and increasing the benefit from tourism. Community tourism. Community-based tourism is a type of tourism where local communities invite tourists into their community, giving them insight into their culture and daily lives. It is a form of sustainable tourism that allows travelers to connect closely to the local community they visit. So there are some groups involved in community-based tourism. We have community leaders, local business owners, entrepreneurs, and tourism associate representative. These four can help finding contribute to our understanding of supporting local entrepreneurism through digital platform and help to make the world a better place with information system. So these are benefits of community tourism. Environmentally sustainable. Ecotourism and community-based tourism can go hand in hand, and its best community-based tourism is sustainable, providing environmentally friendly experience and attractions. Empowering. Community-based tourism provide opportunities for local people to bring in income and also to introduce their culture to visitors. Plus, as the local community is actively involved in running and leading the project, they can have autonomy and make decisions that are right for their community. Cross-culture understanding. Today, more than ever, we believe that it's important for people of different backgrounds, faith, and nationalities to come together and learn about one another. We believe that this kind of learning can heal divides and create a stronger and more united world. Authentical experience. For many people, travel is not just about traveling in an air-conditioned bus, taking off landmarks from list before moving on the next one. Instead, many people want to really get to know a place and come to deeply understand it. In this way, tourism can deeply enrich your life and broaden your horizon. Joint venture with the private sectors or NGOs. Different between NGO and private sector. So, NGO. The acronym NGO stands for non-government organization. NGOs are non-profit organizations or third sector companies. Private sector. Private non-profit organizations help public organizations in public development. So the relationship between NGO and their business partners are varied. Public-private partnership includes activities such as fundraising or research mobilization, negotiation for lower product prices, research collaborations, consultations, or decisions, arrangements to implement code for conduct, corporate social responsibility, marketing projects, and contracting out public services. So positive aspect of partnership. Private sector's actor may provide critical amount of financial support. Private sector's interaction increase availability and access the various contacts, political influence, and technical expertise. Private sector actors may help develop internal and external organizations for education, awareness, and advocacy. Private sector actors may initiate and develop policy-making opportunities for the NGO. Negative aspect of partnership. Private Negative aspect of partnership. Private sector actors may recognize the appealing reputation and credibility associated with NGOs and seek interaction based on image boosting. Private sector actors may seek out cost-effective technical solutions to complex problems. Private sector actors may prove to be an inappropriate choice when corporative image clashes with NGO objectives and motivations. Private sector actor involvement may undermine NGO control and principles in partnership programs. Private business employing member of the community. Private enterprises. Private basic tourism product facilities and essential services such as accommodations, transport, restaurants, retail, various attractions, even experience. This sector range from large vertically and horizontally integrated global opportunities such as tour companies, airlines, hotel chains, to tiny remote local family business such as craft shop and lodges. Private sector plays an essential role in development and management of tourism and must be equally involved with national, region, and local government in management and sustainable development. NGO or other grassroots organizations. So what is grassroots organization? Uses the people in a given district, region, or community as the basis for political or economic movement. Grassroots movement or organization use collective actions from the local level to effect change at the local, regional, national, or international level. Grassroots organization related to NGOs. Within popular culture, NGOs are often described as being closer to the grassroots than their government counterparts and may even be equated with the grassroots or local level group who are directly impacted by problems or conditions that they seek to change. This picture that you've seen are example of grassroots organization. First, Kenya Makuku Pahumha Mikuku Pamuha is creating a holistic model of development for the future. The community group has created the first mangrove carbon credit market in the world, meaning people or organizations pay for credits that are then used for mangrove restoration. Kenya, the the Kuruwiti Conservation and Welfare Association. When local fishers and elders realized that nearby marine ecosystems were being destroyed by overfishing, pollution, and climate change. They created the country's first local managed marine area to ban fishing in a designated zone. Collaborative management or co-management. Collaborative management or co-management has been defined as the sharing of power and responsibility between the government and local resource users. Co-management can be understood as a situation in which two or more social actors negotiate, define, and guarantee among themselves as a fair sharing of the management functions, entitlement, and responsibilities for a given territory, area, or set of natural resources. Co-community can be looked upon as a continuum from sample exchange scale. The responsible optimum may be such judgments, if possible, depend on how one considers the trade-off between different criteria for success.
These pictures show the stakeholder categories and co-management. Central government, local government, commercial private sector, civil society, local community. Those the definition listed so far have some common underpinning. They regard co-management as some kind of partnership between public and private actor. They explicitly associate the concept with NRM, natural resources management. They stress that co-management is not a fixed state but a process that takes